All right, ladies and gentlemen, good Wednesday evening. Welcome aboard Top Gun Options and our tactical trade alert launch. Actually, we launched back in May. Yeah, it was May. Had explosive response. I figured I'd open up the doors again to folks who are interested. The tactical trade alert service here, Top Gun Options. We do live trading Monday through Wednesday from about 10 to 11, 11:15, 11:30, depends on what's going on in the market. Monday is our solo AI portfolio where we just trade the AI names, 10 names in our model portfolio. And then Tuesday is our primary live trade brief. And then this morning we did AR, Accelerated Retirement, where we trade. Each one of those live briefs is backed up by a report that hopefully you've gotten access to because you are in this brief. And I gave you the AI, the Bullish on Merica, and the brand new psychedelic report, which we'll talk about in a second. So each one of those reports is for folks who just don't have the time to make it to a live trade brief or to watch the replay. Or you're like me, man, I'm old school. I print these things out, I grab my highlighter, and I'm actually getting on an airplane flying to Ole Miss tomorrow afternoon with my beautiful bride to go see our daughter and her sorority pref or bid day or something like that. So I print these things out. So this is a tactical trade alert service, and you get actionable trades in these reports. It's a great service. I wish I had done this a long time ago to capture all the folks who are like, man, I just can't make it to your live trade briefs. This is for you. Now, if you didn't understand any of that because you have no idea who I am, well, welcome aboard Top Gun Options. My name is Matthew Buckley. You can call me Wiz. My parents loved me. I'm pretty sure they didn't name me Wiz. I earned that call sign flying the F-18 Hornet for the United States Navy. Deployed on the Abraham Lincoln. You maybe see me on, I just did an ABC hit, Fox Live Now this morning. I mean, just, you know, the stuff going on with the Lincoln, I'll leave that alone. But that's young Wiz deploying on board the Abraham Lincoln long time ago. Graduated from the Navy Fighter Weapons School adversary course, so I was a bad guy pilot. I was a good bad guy. And then, in addition to Southern Watch, I deployed back on active duty for Noble Eagle and in Enduring Freedom. Man, and it's not funny, but I went from the Lincoln, nuclear, air conditioning, hot and cold running water. Man, I went to the Kitty Hawk. I think we took turns rowing that boat. I mean, that was talk about a downgrade going from the Abraham Lincoln to the Kitty Hawk, but I'm not going to pretend I'm some old salt. Back in my day, well, back in my day was whatever. What's this have to do with trading? Everything. I sat in the ready room. I was always interested in finance. So instead of, I mean, I talk about sports and stuff like that. I read the Wall Street Journal, books on finance. So I taught myself how to trade stocks and equity options and man, went to Wall Street. I had a brief airline career. The morning of September 11th, 2001 was my first scheduled flight as a pilot for American Airlines. And the rest is history. So instead of going to the airlines, I went to Wall Street and was the managing director of strategy for a multi-billion-dollar volatility arbitrage equity options trading firm headquartered right there in the Chicago Board of Trade. Just a beautiful trading firm. Everybody should recognize that building right there. You watch Batman, right? So that's the CBOT, the Chicago Board of Trade, and you can see the big windows. That's our trading floor right there. Helped build a hedge fund when I was there, the retail brokerage. Some of you might have traded with Options House, and started my own financial media company under the parent company called the Options News Network. We were essentially the CNBC for options. Back in the day before CNBC fired them or whatever, John and Pete Najarian, they were the token options guys on CNBC. Well, we started our own financial media company where we were options 24/7. We'd shoot on the floor of the CBOE and the CBOT and bring you all behind the scenes look at what's going on in the option space. I had a great time, but no offense to anybody from Chicago, you can keep it. I'm a Navy guy. I'm a beach guy. I need sand and sun, and yeah, Lake Michigan doesn't cut it. So moved down here to God's Waiting Room, Boca Raton. 2010, started Top Gun Options, and we're going on year 16. We've helped thousands of retail traders just like you level the playing field and take your trading to the next level. It's just been an absolute blast. Like I said, I was an F-18 instructor pilot, adversary instructor pilot, and I love teaching people how to trade options, man. Let me hit you with something. Nobody cares more about your money than who? Say it with me. You. No offense, I don't care about your money. You should, right? It's so funny. My buddies who are registered financial advisors and all sorts of stuff like that, and they're always like, "Well, Wiz, we're a fiduciary," and that's not necessarily true. I'm like, "Hey, man, if you care more about somebody's money than they do, they're weird and they got problems. Nobody cares more about your money than you. Then learn how to manage it and do it on your own." Speaking of the pros who suck. Where is this? Stock picking funds are performing as poorly as ever. Just 13% of US large cap funds have outperformed the indices. Folks, look at this. Look down here. Active managed the smart money, right? Bill Ackman, Jeffrey Gundlach, all the smart money, they suck, folks. They can't even, many of them can't even beat the S&P 500. It's so funny. It's not funny. So let me get this straight. You charge a fee, 2 and 20 or whatever it is, to underperform the S&P 500? Oh my God, man. Here's my brokerage account as of the closing business today. 67% up till the pullback a couple days ago or a week ago. I was up 85%. Ladies and gentlemen, what's the S&P up? 13. You're telling me, and to be honest with you, most hedge funds would be thrilled with a 13% return, right? The NASDAQ is crushing it at 17 and the Dow's at 8. I'm at 67%. That little pullback right there is my little pullback. I'm not going to jinx myself. Most years, my average return in Top Gun options is low triple digits, man. I wrote a book, COVID Crash, From Panic to Profit. Go look, man. I made little old ladies in tennis shoes into millionaires when the market crashed during COVID. We had a blast. So I'm hoping to get this over 100% by the end of the year. I mean, we're at a little past the halfway point, but we're going strong, man. All right, so that's who I am, why you should sit up straight. You should always sit up straight and listen to me. But here's kind of the flight schedule for tonight. The psychedelics sector. You have access. Does everybody have the most current report? You probably don't. If you opted into this brief, in the past week or so, you don't have this one. So here, I'm going to be your wingman. You got the one with the Compass and Definium update. This one is hot off the press. I just gave this to our members in this morning's brief. Okay, and we're going to step through this stuff with all the positions and everything like that. This is a 10-page report on the psychedelic sector. So let me pause right now and upload this into the chat so you can have a copy and start following along. I'm not going to sit here and read this report. This is why I'm giving it to you so you can check it out on your own. Where are we here? There it is, home. There is the psychedelic. Grab it and upload it into the chat right here. I'm so excited, man. We dropped our daughter off last week at Ole Miss, going to be a freshman. We're empty nesters now. And then we dropped our middle son, Jack, off at University of Colorado Boulder. We got home yesterday. And like I said, we're going back up tomorrow to Ole Miss for some sorority something or other. There you go. Send. Melinda, I forgot to upload that also to the Solo AI member page. I need to do that. Let me write that down before I forget. My apologies. Yeah, I just posted it to the accelerated retirement sector. All right, so everybody look in the chat box. Everybody got the psychedelic report. That is the most up-to-date report that was sent to the Tactical Trade Alert members today. And I'm giving it to you all as well for free right now. Why was I rambling about my 2 kids in college other than being a proud dad? Well, because I landed and my phone was blowing up, right? Did everybody see the president's True Social post? Thank you to the University of Miami. They're giving me all their data on ibogaine from 1984. Unbelievable. Going to help heal our veterans and all that type of stuff. So I am going to take a little bit of a victory lap. Even though I'm a fighter pilot, folks, you would know it. I am a little modest. It doesn't matter. It's about the mission, right? It's as long as this stuff gets done. But I just posted this on my personal account. So instead of fumbling here, let me just pull up my Instagram account. So anyway, if you don't know who I am, quick, I took that picture. I was in the Oval Office. I took that video. That's me in the press room back in April. April, what was it? I gotta remember these dates. Let's go April. What was that? April. So April 17th. April 17th, folks, I'm sitting on my couch. It was a long week of trading. I never do this. I'm like, I'm going to power down my phone and turn off my laptop. I'm taking a break this weekend. I never do that. Before I powered this cell phone down, the White House is the caller ID. And I laughed. I'm like, who got the caller ID for the White House? Some guy in India or Pakistan? I mean, that's hardcore. I'm going to take that phone call. It was the White House. Suzanne, where's the link to what? The report is right above you. You should see a green. Let me show you what I'm looking at right here, folks. Here's the chat box right there. So right in the middle above your comment, Suzanne, you see where it says TGO psychedelic with the green thing? Scroll up a little and you should be able to see that. So anyway, it was the White House. Hi, Mr. Buckley. This is the White House calling on behalf of the president. Are you in Washington? And I said, you guys aren't seeing this report? It didn't show on mine either. Are you guys seeing it? It's not a link, folks. It's a file. Scroll up. It's a file, people. It's not a link. All right, now people are seeing it. Everybody scroll up. It's not a link. It's a file. I see it, and Melinda sees it. Paul, okay. We good? Everybody good? So anyway, Mr. Buckley, are you in Washington? I'm like, nope. I'm down in God's waiting room, Boca Raton. Why? Well, the president is signing the executive order tomorrow morning on ibogaine, and he would love for you to be there. I said, I'll start walking. I was going to drive if I needed to. It was a 12, 15-hour drive. I'm like, I'll jump in my car. She's like, great. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., be at this gate, security. But thank God for JetBlue. There was a flight. I got up there at 11:30. I didn't sleep clearly. And there I was in the Oval Office. Joe Rogan, RFK Jr., the FDA commissioner, Dr. Oz, and then my Navy SEAL brothers. One who I went and sat in ceremony with in Mexico a little over 5 years ago. It was close to our 5-year anniversary. I walked up to the White House gate. There was Marcus Luttrell. If you don't know who Marcus Luttrell is, lone survivor, Navy SEAL, movie, book. Mark Wahlberg played him in the movie. And what a surreal moment. Going from the mattress five years ago, laying on my back in Mexico. Why? Because if you did it in the United States, you're a felon. If you did it an hour south of San Diego, it'll save and change your life. To the White House. Talk about a journey, man. Talk about just a crazy experience. Well, like I said, I landed yesterday. My phone was blowing up. Here's the headline. University of Miami donates 1994 ibogaine application to speed veteran mental health research. And you can see his Truth Social post. But folks, March of 2025, I ripped the VA secretary apart online. I really don't care. My mission objective as the founder of the No Fallen Heroes Foundation is to save veterans' lives, is to reduce veteran suicide. And to his credit, Secretary Collins wrote me on X, Wiz, we need your help. Can you help? You can be on board for the big win. I'm like, yeah, man. So I flew up. I met with Secretary Collins and I hit him with two things. I said, first thing, vouchers. Mr. Secretary, first of all, when I went to Mexico 5 years ago, it was $3,500 for ibogaine. That's a lot of money. Guess what it is now at that same clinic? 10, 15. There are ibogaine clinics in Mexico charging 20 grand. Anyway, so I told him, I'm like, vouchers. If a veteran comes out of pocket to go heal, first of all, he saved you a lot of money, didn't he? And the U.S. taxpayers, cut him a check, get vouchers. Get the receipt and cut them a check. Or the nonprofits. If you cut No Fallen Heroes a check for all the work we've done to date, we could copy paste and essentially clear our list. And he said, Wiz, it's a good idea, vouchers. The second thing I told him, I said, get the gouge. I said, Dr. Deborah Mash, when I was a young F-18 pilot in the early 90s, she was researching ibogaine. She's the head of, literally the head doctor down at the University of Miami. She's done all this ibogaine research. Do not reinvent the wheel, Mr. Secretary. I know you got to do your tests, the FDA, the VA, test. Enough. Do some tests, but go get the original testing data. Great idea, Wiz. Never heard another word until yesterday when you get this type of thing. So all of Dr. Mash's work given to the federal government to fast follow, to attack in parallel and get us up to speed. So I am going to take a little bit of a victory lap. It's just been incredible. Real quick before I forget, the science behind ibogaine with Dr. Deborah Mash. Let me just be totally clear. She's on the advisory board for the No Fallen Heroes Foundation, our nonprofit. I'm on the advisory board for Demerex, her privately owned company. We're privately owned right now. But hopefully we're going to talk about it. It's in your report to talk about the psychedelic sector is exploding. So there, if you want to watch my ugly face, Dr. Mash is clearly a lot more attractive than I am. You can watch on the YouTube, or let me give you the, you can listen on Spotify when you're working out or in traffic, or Apple Podcasts. Here's the link to the podcast to either listen, or you can go to YouTube, like I said, and look at my ugly mug. So ladies and gentlemen, you probably showed up to a brief about trading and investing, and this dude's talking about psychedelics and veterans. Yeah, folks, at Top Gun Options, we talk about profit with purpose. Making money's great, man. Nobody, not me, not you, nobody on this brief tonight is a pharaoh. They're not going to put a bunch of your stuff in your pyramid and take it to the next world. So that's why over 5 years ago, I started the No Fallen Heroes Foundation. I lost 4 F-18 brothers to suicide, my best friend, groomsman in my wedding. And I said, Susie, after making a ton of money in the COVID crash, I'm like, let's throw a lot of, we got to pay for colleges and stuff, but let's throw most of it over the fence and start a nonprofit. So here we are. Profit with purpose. Man, when I was in Chicago, I was empty. You want to talk? I'd never seen that much money in my life. It was gross. It was obscene. And I fell into it, man. That's a whole separate story. I'm not going to go down that road. But thank God, psychedelic assisted therapy saved and changed my life. I can't stand MSN. Trump doubles down on plans to give psychedelic drugs to U.S. veterans for mental health. That headline, there's several subtle pokes in that, isn't it? Well, he's doubling down on giving drugs. These are not drugs. Marcus Luttrell, Navy SEAL, was on 15 drugs when he went to Mexico. Over 5 years later, my brother Marcus Luttrell hasn't taken a single one of those drugs ever since. Drugs, Eli Lilly, Janssen, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, made in a lab by a dude in a lab coat with a beaker for profit. These compounds, I use the word God put on this planet for us to heal. Trust me. 5 years ago, Wiz, if I heard me on one of my Top Gun Options live trade briefs talking about psychedelics, I would have kicked my own ass. That guy died on a mattress in Mexico. So part of my mission objective is to change this stupid wording in the media. I was right to the right of these two. All the Navy SEAL buddies were over here. Rob O'Neill, who shot, or not, bin Laden. It was awesome. It was great to be there. And I was blown away. Now, what's this have to do with trading and investing? Everything. Let's go. Everybody have their report, right? So in your psychedelic report is all of this. I didn't bring you into a live trade brief to sit here and read a report. So that's why we have the Tactical Trade Alert service. I'm going to actually take a look at some of the trades tonight if you're interested, but I have all the resources in here. There's the podcast, but the names that we are targeting for max profit in our Tactical Trade Alert service. Write these names. You don't have to write these names down. You have the report. Compass. This one is the closest to getting an NDA New drug application submitted and approved. I was in the Oval Office when the former FDA commissioner, Marty McCarty, said, this ain't the old days. 6 months, a year, 2 years to get a drug through the FDA. He said this will take weeks, if not days. I have a buddy, I have a couple buddies in these companies over the past couple years. With the FDA called. I'm like, whoa, that's not good. He's like, no. They're like, hurry up. Where's your application? Isn't your phase 3 trial done yet? Folks, they are doing what's called a rolling NDA. The FDA is literally flying formation with these companies going, that's approved. That's cool. Nope, that's fine. Work on that. Wait, I don't like the word puppy. Make it small dog. Okay, small dog. Now it's approved. Ladies and gentlemen, when you are in a sector that has defined dates and explosive growth, it's free effing money. Compass is the lead ship in our tactical trade alert psychedelic sector. Definium. We're going to go look at these names on a chart. And then my bronze medalist is Help. Helus. I love the names of these things. But folks, let's go look at Definium. Let's take a look at a 3-month chart, folks. Definium was a $15 stock. Great news in a phase 3 trial. It went from 15 to 50. Bank of America just initiated coverage. It's in your report. $75 to $80 stock. Go look at my price targets in this report. So ladies and gentlemen, don't sit here like, oh, I missed this rally. You didn't yet. And take a look. Definium popped and it's hovering. Why is it hovering? Go read the report. In Q4, in a couple months, they said they will submit their NDA to the FDA. The FDA has already said, I just told you what the FDA said. We're going to approve this thing. It's going to hit our inbox and it's going to be, man, I don't want to jinx myself. It should be like a week max, as opposed to years. This stock will rip. What most likely is going to happen before that? Breaking news, Pfizer has bought Definium. I said this 5 years ago. I left a psychedelic capital conference in Miami, and Joe Biden tanked the market. It was 2022, bear market. The S&P 500 went down 25% in 2022. Do you remember that bear market? The media really doesn't talk about it too much. I do, because I left that capital conference and I'm like, buy the psychedelics. You wouldn't believe what I heard. Slam. Everything got slammed. So now it's awake. You didn't miss, and I mean, you missed a little upside clearly, but now you buy it with both hands. Compass, CMPS. This was what? There's, folks, all these stocks popped right here. You see that? April 16th. I told you April 17th, I was on a couch trying to turn off my phone. Monday, after I left the White House, look at what the stock did. From right there to, folks, this is the stock, not the options. That is up 116% in 4 months. Okay. One more time, I'm going to tell you, you didn't miss out yet. This is $100 stock. Again, I'm not going to sit here and read this report to you, but dig into why these names are going to implode. There's your compass. Here's the Q2 recap, the price action. Here is the trade. These are my current positions, by the way. I'll go show you my portfolio. Why I'm doing a tactic a certain way. Scroll down to Definium. Folks, GAD, general anxiety disorder. These psychedelic companies, folks, are seeing, and you know what's, love or hate Trump, I don't care how you feel about the man. In the Oval Office, as he read that executive order, it's so funny because you can tell the guy does zero prep. He sits down, they hand him a folder, he starts reading. As he was reading this, he goes, did you watch the press conference live? We were laughing, and I was the guy that yelled yes. What? He's reading, he's like, Ibogaine cured 85% of Navy SEALs and their PTS. Like, can I get some of this? Yes, that was me. He kept reading. He's like, whoa, is this? He was shocked. He looked at Dr. Oz and RFK. Fellas, SSRIs, how effective SSRIs? And they both shook their heads. They're like, single digits, Mr. President. Then he looked at the SEALs over his left shoulder. Fellas, did this work for you? Saved and changed my life, Mr. President. Then what are we doing? Go. Let's go. One more time. I'm not going to take credit for this. But the 3 weeks, when was it? March? In March, ladies and gentlemen, I was out in Aspen doing some donor flights in our L-39 fighter jet for our foundation. And a close friend of mine, like, hey man, I'm out here with Eric Trump. Can you take him flying in your fighter jet? I'm like, yes. So this guy was my hostage. I briefed him for about 2 hours on that's her Trump on veterans, psychedelics, and healing. This guy was like, you had me at veterans and psychedelics. He's like, I've heard about this stuff. I love it. This is great. I landed up at Eagle. He's like, hey, park in front of our jet. I want to get a selfie with us. So he told me on air on Trump Force One, he goes, Wiz, I talk to my dad 3 times a day. He's like, I can't wait to tell him about this fighter jet flight, but I can't wait to tell him about veterans and psychedelics. I'm like, Eric, if you can do me, I got the soundbite, man. I've been dying to talk to your dad. Your dad ain't too big on Mexico, is he? He's like, no, why? I'm like, use this sentence. Hey, Dad, do you know that veterans are sneaking in? They're leaving this country and they have to sneak out to go to Mexico to heal trauma they incurred serving this one. He's like, oh, that's good. Yeah. He's like, oh, I'll remember that. So I'm not going to take credit for this, but 3 weeks later, the phone's ringing. Now, if you did watch this press conference, they did, Trump's like, Joe Rogan texted me, I'm driving to an MMA thing. He's like, psychedelics for veterans. Why aren't we doing it? So here we are in the Oval Office. I'm like, I'll take it. I'll take it. If that's the way it happened, it's great. And one of the reporters just out of you to the left tried to do a gotcha. Well, if this is so great, Mr. President, how come you didn't do it in your first term? You know what he said? He looked around. He's like, I just heard about this. I heard about this about a week ago, and a couple weeks ago, and here we are. So what are you talking about? If I had heard about it in my first term, I would have done it. Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely insane. Explosive growth in these names. Again, this is why I make these reports, so I don't sit here in a live trade brief and read to you the whole time. But ladies and gentlemen, look at Definium. It's a $40 stock. 90, 75, folks, explode. There's my current trade that I would do today. Helus, the ticker symbol is HELP. Helus Pharmaceuticals. So folks, go read this, okay? Because I want to step through a couple of the other reports. This is it's absolutely insane. So beautiful report, everything mapped out, shameless plug at the end. Like if you just like the reports, hey man, yeah, one or two a week. I usually crank out more than that because I'm a nerd. I love doing this stuff, but minimum 1 to 2 a week. If you want to see me trade these names live, you fleet up to full throttle. Hey, you know what, Wiz? I am going to join you for your live trading. This, speaking of drugs, this is your gateway drug to kind of feel how I operate and trade here at Top Gun Options. Okay, so I wanted to cover about 15 minutes for each report, and I went way too long on the psychedelic report. Why? What's that commercial? The Hair Club for Men. I'm not only a member, I'm the president, or the president, I'm a member, whatever. These compounds saved my life. I was a drunk. I had horrific childhood trauma. I had some pretty bad military trauma, and I was spiraling the drain. This was not fun. It was not recreational. I've done some challenging things in my life. This was tied for first with some of the most challenging things I've ever done. Worth it. Absolutely worth it. And I predicted when I came home from Mexico, and I love my TGO members at the time were like, oh my God, what happened to this guy? Look at the journey, man. I told you when I got home, I said, this is how we're going to end veteran suicide. Let me be clear. This ain't for everybody. There's so many different healing modalities, yoga, breath work, meditation, climbing a mountain in Tibet. Radical trauma might need radical healing. So read your psychedelic sector intelligence brief. If you opted into this brief tonight, like a week ago, you have the old one. Scroll up a little bit in the chat box and download this one. This went out to my members this morning. Okay. I mean, this is just, and the bottom line up front is always read that stuff first. But folks, this is, I can't, it's super bullish. I don't even know what the word is. And I told you years ago, I said big pharma will come in and buy these names. Who was it? Eli Lilly came in for $3.8 billion and bought Atai, ATAI. So I'm done trading that name because it's stuck in a range until the deal goes through. So we're done with Atai. You know what? Before I forget, I'm going to give you even more free stuff. Psychedelic Q1 22. There it is right here. You're welcome for this because I'm in a great mood. Where is it? Q3. Right here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you this link. This is your bullseye tracker. The closest to the bullseye or in the bullseye is approved. Whoa, stop. Janssen's, Spravato, look who's close. Definium, Compass, Helix, right? There's my Demorex up here with Ibogaine. We're a private company. So ladies and gentlemen, take a look. Let me zoom out. Each one of the medicines, not drugs, 5-MeO-DMT, Ibogaine, psilocybin. Can you believe what? We got to stop. Can you believe you're in a trade brief in the United States of America talking about LSD, DMT, magic mushrooms, folks? Brian Hubbard in the Oval Office, he said, Mr. President, thank you for ending the war on psychedelics. These aren't your mom and dad's Vietnam era psychedelics, folks. This is intentional. They're in clinics, medical supervision, blah, blah, blah. Let me give you this link before I forget. This is your, This is your bullseye tracker. I'm a Navy guy. I deal in radar. So there's your radar scope right there. Love it. John, all right, for all the late people, I feel like I'm back in high school. For all the late people, you owe me 50 push-ups. And there is the report. Rate. It's uploading. One more time. All right, there you go. For all the late folks, go click in the chat box. That is the most up-to-date psychedelic sector report. Okay. All right, let's move on. The next report that you got access to is this, our bullish on Merica trades. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not oh my God. Did you see Vindeman? Flounder from Animal House? That dude lost to the DSA socialist lady down here in Florida. I can't believe how happy I am that these Democrats, socialist people are like beating these regular Democrats. Anyway, here's what I want to, why'd you go on that little rant, Wiz? Because I'm bullish on America. Do you know what the S&P has done since I'm going to age myself? I started trading, investing in 1991 as an ensign at Key West Naval Air Station. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Does anybody, I'm a political science major from South Jersey. Anybody see a trend here? This meltdown, I took this screenshot a year and a half ago with the Trump tariffs, right? The first recent freak out. So anybody see it? I've traded through all these. I took the screenshot from when? Key West Naval Air Station. Rip your face off rally. Uh-oh, internet.com boom. We're all going to die. Oh, did we? No. Rip your face off rally. Wiz, Chicago, ground zero, financial crisis. Oh my God, we're all going to die. The financial system, it's over with. Stocks are going to zero. Did they? No. And then we've never looked back. So, political science major from South Jersey, does anybody see a trend? Just say yes. Of course you do. Stocks move up and to the right. And also, what is helping it move up and to the right? You ready? I love this chart. I hate this chart, but I love it. Why would you hate it? Ladies and gentlemen, the blue line is Uncle Sam. What did Uncle Sam do in the dot-com bubble? Nothing. The market imploded like it's supposed to. And we recovered. And of course, 9/11 and a lot of bad around there, folks. Remember that? Then what happened? The GFC, the global financial crisis. Wiz in Chicago, what happened? Oh my God, we're going to die. Wall Street, stocks are going to zero. Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. What happened? Ben Bernanke failed. George Bush, the cokehead, not the naval aviator, failed. Well, oh my God, my buddies on Wall Street, they need if you need to bail out Wall Street, we got a problem. If capitalism needs to be saved or bailed out, it ain't capitalism. Anyway, Wiz, what are you rambling about? They jumped in with some 28-year-old Goldman Sachs Wharton School graduate on coke came up with it. What do we call it? What? Printing money out of thin air to prop up stocks. Quantitative easing. Oh, I love it. What's it mean? We're printing money out of thin air to prop up stocks. Or TARP. What's TARP mean? The Troubled Asset Relief Program. Hey, man, I got a troubled asset. It's my credit card bills. Can you guys hook a brother up? No, it's just for us in the Hamptons. Anyway, folks, what happened after that? They didn't stop. Well, we need more. QE2, QE3, QE4. What happened in the scandemic, the plandemic? Thank God I lived in this free state of Florida. Ladies and I'm a pureblood. Rip your face off rally because of the amount of money. You can't, I don't care. I work out 3 times a week, yoga, and then the other 3 days a week, I do weights. I'm not strong enough to fight the Fed. Neither are you. Now, don't get me wrong. I guarantee there are people listening to me right now going, Wiz, today we just hit 40 trillion in debt. Save it. As an options trade, there's a better looking chart, folks. The red line is actually Uncle Sam jumping in to save capitalism, and the other line is the S&P 500. The balance sheet versus the S&P 500. It's so funny when people, I love hearing the term, this is the most hated rally, in memory. I've heard that term for 35 years of doing this, folks. You can't fight the Fed. Wiz, we're 40 trillion in debt. The dollar's not worth the paper it's printed on. I agree. The music's playing. I'm playing musical chairs. And if or when the music stops, I'm going to pound it into the dirt and print money. I made $750,000 on a COVID morning after Trump the previous day. Stocks are looking good here. I'd be a buyer of stocks. I bought, I forget how many, 50 grand or whatever it was worth of puts at the open on the S&P 500 and closed it that day for 750 grand. It's in my book. So trust me, as an options trader between us ladies, I love blood in the street. I love a down market, man. Options, I love a hurricane, man. But I can't talk like that. I can't even pretend I'm Gordon Gekko or Jordan Belfort. As Wiz, that hurts. I don't like seeing little old ladies in tennis shoes get wiped out. So that's why the music's going to keep playing, baby. The people in the Hamptons, Wall Street, and in Washington need. Did you see what Bessent did today? What did Bessent do today, the Treasury Secretary, when the bond market broke? What did he do today? Why Bessent is playing with the Treasury market. Bottom, turn the printing presses on. We can't have the bond market breaking. So folks, I get it. People are like the jobs market and inflation and things suck. Hey, if you're new to Top Gun Options, welcome aboard. You ready for this wizism? The stock market ain't the economy. And the economy ain't the stock market. Are you new? And if you're new, welcome aboard. So folks, they can be completely disconnected. Do you know how many times during recessions and stuff like that, I'm like printing money and people, it's miserable out. I'm like, oh yeah, it is bad. What are you new? Learn how to do this. Why am I rambling about this? Because ladies and gentlemen, go read the Bullish on America report. I give you the full bullish and, you ready? Bearish cases. I'm no idiot, man. I'm a F-18 pilot and an options trader. I just don't plan for sunshine, unicorns, and lollipops, man. Why is everything I just said going to keep the market going to keep going up and to the right? It's all right there. Scroll down, what's going to keep us from rallying up and to the right for the next 5 years? It's all right there. Ladies and gentlemen, you get a Elizabeth Warren in January as the head of the Senate Finance Committee, we're going to have a Joe Biden recession. I guarantee you, and I'm going to make money. So, but let me scroll up real quick because I will show you one of these trades, or maybe two. Here is my dot plot. Did you see the Fed minutes released at 2? Here's the whiz dot plot. If we keep doing what we've been doing after the Joe Biden bear market, and we return 15% or greater on the S&P 500, here is my target for 5 years. Why are you picking 5 years, Wiz? I'm going to show you, or you can read it in your report. I think by December of 2031, we're up at 22.5 on the S&P 500. I think that's conservative, but I call it Super Bowl. What if we have a little bit of a midterm pullback, Democrats in the House and Senate and gumming up the Trump economy? Well, money finds a way. They really don't care who's in power. Eventually, the dust settles and we keep going up and to the right. That's 16.5. That's the green line. What if the base case, like the worst case scenario, I back tested all this, folks. All the math is behind me. About 13 grand on the S&P. Let's say it sucks for the next 5 years. President AOC and First Lady Harris, or vice versa, about 9 grand down here. Remember that, okay? Why? Because in your Bullish on America report, I show you the trades I would do today. I'll show you my personal account right now. How many of you, well, let's go look at them. How many of you, as an options trader, let me just pull this up. I can fly in my time machine. You ready? Let's jump in our time machine right now. And I'm going to go as far out into the future as I can in the world of options. Does everybody see this? 1948. 1,948 days into the future. Let's scroll all the way out to this expiration. Dece of 2031. And I'm going to select all the strikes. And I'm going to go all the way down to here. Before you look down there, we're going back to here. Where is it? I did these original Bullish on America trades that you're going to see in May. What's that? May, June, July, August. 3-4 months ago. Everybody remember these numbers. 34, 45, 15, 390. Everybody remember those? Let's go look. Now look at what's going on down here. Holy crap. What? 43? No. 8,000 more call options. 19. Wait, this bottom one, Wiz, at the 20,000 strike was 390. Oh my God, Wiz, there's 3,200 more. Yeah. This is what hedge funds do, folks. We go out as far in time as we can, and what do? We buy as high as we can. So, folks, who is it? Goldman or somebody recently, their end of year target for the S&P is 8 grand. We're at 7,700, folks. We could hit 8 grand by the end of this year. So do you think, listening to me talk about history, that the S&P, let's just round up and say we hit 8 grand at the end of the year. Do you think in the next 5 years we could hit 16 grand on the S&P 500? Yeah. I already showed you my Super Bowl is up at 22. But let's go in between those two. 16 and 22, I don't know, let's say 20. You can do options trades right now, folks. And let me go show you well, you know what sucks? I knew this was going to happen. The only strikes that don't have any pricing after hours are the strikes I'm going to show you. These are my current positions. So let me just go show you. I think they're current in the report. Let's see. Let me just pull these up real quick. Let me click Analyze. So look at what I did with this trade, and it's showing 0. But folks, I bought the 15,000 call option out to December of 2031. And I sold a 16,000 call against it. I'll show you in the report because the math ain't math in here. Let's see if the math works for this one. This one, I bought an 18,000 call and sold the 20 against it. And of course, the math ain't mathing. Again, folks, after hours, I build Options House. We're doing updates and stuff like that. So great excuse, Wiz, to go to the damn report. So this is based off last week's prices. But ladies and gentlemen, how many of you would spend 3,500 bucks today? How many of you would spend 3,500 bucks today? This is the 15-16 bull call spread to potentially make, you ready? $97,000. Now, if this was working on my real trade platform, it's in the world of a bull call spread, folks, it's about the journey, not necessarily the destination. I could move my mouse in here and you could see, hey, Wiz, you were wrong. It only hit 14 grand. Oh, I'm sorry. You only made 60,000? Oh, I'm sorry. So, folks, these are in our AR Accelerated Retirement live trade brief. But, folks, that's the one trade. And then let's scroll down and look at the other one. This is the higher strike, the 18,000, 20,000 on the S&P 5 years into the future. You ready? How many of you would spend 2,600 bucks today? How many of you would spend 2,600 bucks today to potentially make, survey said, 100, let me round up, $200,000. Again, it's the journey, not the destination. Wiz, you were wrong. We only got up to 19 grand. Oh, I'm sorry. You made 130 grand. I'll try and do better. I actually think we're going to go through 20 grand by this strike, and I will make. So, folks, in this Bullish on America report, you got two trades that could potentially make $300,000 for what? What was that? 5 grand of investment. How many of you would invest 5 grand tomorrow at the opening bell to do these trades to potentially make 300 grand? I'm going to warn you, it ain't a straight line. I already showed you it's not going to be a straight line. There's going to be a freak out. Why? Scroll up and read the bearish things that I put in the report that could happen. Xi Jinping said what? Told his generals 5 years ago, 3 years, 4, I forget. Xi Jinping stood in front of his generals and said, you will be ready to invade Taiwan by 2027. We're low on weapons, allegedly. We're kind of in a quagmire in the Middle East. I'm shocked Xi hasn't done it already. So there are a lot of bearish things. Read the report. It's all in here. I talk about AI and national security risks, all these Chinese companies. Hey, our AI is free and it attacked yours. Folks, all of it is in this report. I break out the 7 steps in my trade plan as to why I'm doing each one of these. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and waste time. This is why I sit here Sundays or whenever I go through it and do all these reports. Man, this is fantastic. I absolutely love it, love it, love it. A couple questions. I need to get to the AI report here. Danny, my Definium trade is up almost 300% to date with the 17 strikes. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Danny. Gary, I bought Definium at $7. My man. You guys see, these are TGO members that actually listen. The final report, ladies and gentlemen, is the AI infrastructure report. This thing, what is this? 19 pages. Each name in here. The report, what's going on? This was last week's report. All eyes on NVIDIA, the 3 trillion hidden bill, blah, blah, blah. I love Amazon. It is the self-funding machine. So in this report, folks, you get obviously the current price, but here's my 12 and 24 month price for each one of these and what the potential upside is. What do you also get in the report? The trade. These are my existing positions, the synthetic stock position in NVIDIA. Here's the love of my life. Don't tell my wife that. Amazon. All these other names, folks, it's a self-licking ice cream cone. You buy from me, I'll buy from you, and you buy from them, and they're going to buy from me. La, 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 la. Amazon. I left this cord, where's my cord? In my son's new apartment in Boulder. I got home last night. I'm like, oh my God, my laptop's dying, and I left my cord at your place, Jack. Susie got on Amazon. Your new cord is going to be here between 4 and 8 a.m. Folks, I flew for FedEx for what, about 10 months? Hated it. The big thing back in the day with FedEx was what? We'll deliver a package anywhere in the world in under 24 hours. Dude, if I want a toothbrush, it can be here in an hour. Amazon. So they pay for all their AI stuff with everything else they're doing. Didn't mean to get on that much of an Amazon rant, but you can tell I love it. Broadcom, our Broadcom position. We have the power names in here: Palantir, Constellation Energy, Vistra, Bloom Energy, SpaceX. We are pounding SpaceX into the dirt. I will buy it with both hands after I'm done pounding it into the dirt. We've had bearish trades on SpaceX, but down here at the bottom, folks, here is the portfolio summary. Because I diversified. We got the compute, the software, the power, the infrastructure, and the nuke. It's going to be nuke, folks, and you guys know that. So you got access to this report as well. You got 3 reports. And I usually do these each week. I'll freshen these up with the current positions and the intel and stuff like that. And then, obviously, you know what? Let me go grab my folder. We had a recent great report on Raytheon. Have you seen what is going on with Raytheon? It's sad, but it's awesome. But ladies and gentlemen, the Raytheon report, let's just go look at the stock. Raytheon hit 170. There's a famous wizism: sell the wife and kids, mortgage the house, buy Raytheon, right? Some people doubted me. They're like, Wiz, you nailed it. We had this monster run in Raytheon and it sold off. Yeah, buy it. Sell everything you have and buy Raytheon at 170. It hit 170 once, twice, third time. It will never look back. Why? Did you not see the $23 billion Tomahawk deal they just signed? When your number one customer has clearly an unlimited checkbook and an endless supply right now, we need you to work 24/7 Raytheon for forever to make more weapons because we're out of weapons. You buy that stock. Now, if you're looking at this like, man, I missed that Raytheon run. Did you not listen to everything I just told you? I mean, this is not turning back. Sadly, it's not turning back. Look at that. Why do you have the line from here, Wiz? Because sadly, if you bought this name on October 8th, 2023, why'd you pick that date? Because that's when the world changed. When Israel got invaded, slaughter, now Hamas, Hezbollah, now we're in Iran. What happened? The stock is the stock, not the options, folks. 230% return in the stock. We have TGO members who are up thousands of percent in their synthetic stock positions that they got in that tactical trade alert. So one more time, folks, you don't need to be in our live trade briefs. You get everything that I'm rambling through right now in a doc with all the trades. Now, clearly, if you want to see my smiling mug, you can sign up for the live trading if you get around to that. But this is our gateway service, man. This was a great report. I told you, get into Raytheon, man. Got the trades. Oh, it was stupid. Look at this. Men lie, reports don't. It was right here. There's the double bottom. I think it had a triple bottom here. I said, buy it, buy it. 170 is the line in the sand. Oh my God, I love this report. I didn't plan on bringing up the Raytheon report, but there's your proof. What's the date of this report? Isn't this awesome? Are you guys having fun? Look at Paul. Bought Raytheon synthetic stock at 140 and sold it 220. AUG expiration could have rolled, but 650% ain't bad. Everybody look what Paul just wrote. Thank you, Paul. But there is your Raytheon tactical trade alert back when it was 170. Look at that. Ooh, there it is. I did the 180 synthetic stock. You're welcome. And no, you didn't miss it. I would buy Raytheon today with both hands. I'll say it again. Sell the wife and kids, mortgage the house, buy Raytheon. When you have a name who reported blowout earnings, they raised their forward guidance, and their customer is the US government, who said work harder. Trump had the heads of the 5 families at the White House 2 weeks ago, all the CEOs of the defense companies, and said 24/7, whatever, blank check. 2 weeks later, breaking news, Raytheon, $24 billion deal for tomahawks. I don't like it. I hate it. I hate war. I hate death. I hate destruction. I want peace. Like Gordon Gekko said, if you want a friend, get a dog. I'm here to teach you how to trade and potentially make money. Ultimately, folks, you're the tick. What? You're the trader in command, just like I'm the PIC, the pilot in command when I signed for the F-18 Hornet. You're the tick. I don't sign for your portfolio. I'm a single seat fighter pilot. You're a single seat trader. You sign for your portfolio. You're the tick, the trader in command. But folks, guess what? These alerts are your briefing gear. And these are perfectly geared for the folks who I can't do the live trading. Obviously, our lifetime members get access to this stuff, and this is a great service for the folks who just don't have time for the live trading. So I want to keep us on time. Give me 5 minutes. Here's how you join, man. The Tactical Trade Alert service. Thank God, I don't drink anymore. Well, that's not true. I had a glass of wine. We went to Steak 316 in Denver, and then at St. Leo's in Oxford. I could have a glass of wine or two now, years later. Thank you to psychedelic assisted therapy. So why am you talking about you can have a glass of wine now? Because it's $97 a month. I haven't looked at the price of wine in a while, but the bottle of whatever it was for my son and my wife and his girlfriend, they're all over 21. It's like $180. So for 2 months of Tactical Trade Alerts, folks, you can get access. Now, don't do the monthly. First of all, it's cheaper if you do the annual, but if you do the monthly, you're not going to get what I'm going to give you right now. Do the annual for $970. I'll give you the link in a couple minutes. You get Options Effing Weapon School. 9 training sessions. If you're sitting here going, dude, I love the intel, I have no idea what a call is. Uncle Wiz is going to hook you up. Options Weapon School is 9 training sessions. Guess what we start with? Options? No. This is the stock market. This is where I gather my intel. This is my trade plan, blah, blah, blah. Session 1, I don't even say the word option. I probably do. Session 2, we'll talk about this is a call, this is a put. And what do? Look at these. We take a building block approach. I didn't show up. I mean, I did to Navy Flight School as the world's greatest fighter pilot, but other people didn't. They take a building block approach. This is an airplane. That's the wing. That's weather. That's a cloud. This is aerodynamics. And 6 months later, you're flying a fighter jet. Not that quick, but you get what I'm saying. Folks, if you're new to trading options, do the Tactical Trade Alerts annual membership for $970. You get Options Weapon School included, which is $496. So wait a minute, I'm essentially getting this whole thing for 50% off. Yeah. Don't do the monthly if you want to. Do you have a trial? Yeah, it's $97 a month. I love when people say that. I'm like, this was the trial. That's the brief. If you want to try it out for a couple months, it's $97 a month. And then shoot us an email like, hey man, I'm good. Now I want to upgrade into the annual. Okay, let me give you that link. But do the annual, folks. It's $970, and I mean, why would you? Because you get Options Weapons School. All right, so where are we? Trade groups, Tactical Trade Alerts, and right here. Okay, and then I will scroll up and take some questions, even though I have 2 minutes left. Now, I mean, I try and go, even in my live trade briefs, folks, I don't sit here. I have an hour ass. That's why flying long missions in the Hornet sucked. So we don't trade, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, when I do my live trade briefs, it's 10 to 11, man. I'll go a little long, sometimes 11, because God's showing us we're on the right path. But so I don't want to go too much longer for tonight, but one more time, $97 a month, not even a good bottle of wine. It's awesome. Okay. But do the annual because, like I said, you get Options Weapon School. Okay. Options Weapon School is $497 value. I mean, go look right here. If you just wanted to buy Options Weapon School tonight, it's $497. Why would you do that? Go buy Tactical Trade Alerts annual and get Options Weapon School included. Or go buy options weapon school and the annual. And no, I wouldn't do that. I'm not. We had somebody do that recently. I'm like, refund them, right? We don't. I'm not. I love putting the ladder down, man. I love doing this. If hopefully you, if you're new to Top Gun options, I hope I conveyed that I'm very passionate about this. I love making money, but I love making money and doing something cool with it, like trying to heal our heroes at home. That's why I'm so bullish on the psychedelic sector. I've seen it. I've sat in ceremony. We stopped counting at No Fallen Heroes because I'm done. I'm done with the numbers thing. After we hit the 300 number, in the past 5 years, we've helped over 300 veterans, first responders, and family members because they served too. My beautiful bride served because she had to put up with me. I don't want to jinx it. Not a single adverse event. No suicide, clearly. No whatever you would hear, like the psychedelic, bad trip or anything like that. Man, these medicines are not here to scare you. They're here to help you. So when I hear people like, oh, I did whatever and it was scary, I'm like, let me guess where you either did it or you weren't intentional. And they're like, yeah, how'd you know? I'm like, well, it's almost like these compounds are telling you, don't mess with us. We're supposed to be used reverently and with intention and like not, let's take some mushrooms and go to a concert. I hope you have a really crappy time if you do something like that because we use these things intentionally. There's my brother, Jeffrey. He was one of our first civilians. So Jeffrey's a TGO member. He came on a retreat. So, and Jeffrey, thank you for rogering up to that. Because, let's end on a high note. And this is a high note. When I got back from Mexico, and you can listen to my episode 7 on the Max Afterburner podcast or over here is it's my debrief. Healed by the light, right? Instead of blinded by the light, wrapped up like a deuce, another runner in the night. I encountered, I choose to use the word God, my sister and my father who had passed away. I got 40 years of therapy in 14 hours. Like I said, it sucked. It was not fun. But as a recovering Catholic, these compounds were as much of a sacrament to me than the bread and wine when I was a little altar boy in South Jersey. So over a year ago, we've done a year so far. I started with my beautiful bride, Sacred Warrior Fellowship. We are an entheogenic church, headquartered down here in Florida. I've been to the Harvard Divinity School. I've been to Harvard Law School to talk about all this stuff. And we are 508c1a. We use these compounds in sacred ceremony once a month. Our August retreat is full, but we have a retreat at the end of September, 25, 26, 27. Where we are introducing one of our newest sacraments that we're incorporating because we had to get trained and stuff like that. We had to get ordained as clergy. We will be sitting with 5-MeO DMT at the end of September. So if that calls to you, reach out, man. Some of my teachings are on here. If you're interested and you'd like to read about this, go take a look at some of our people, man. This guy, combat Navy diver, Marine combat veteran, and his beauty. He came first, and then he brought his wife, and she sat in ceremony. Army combat flight medic. Her helicopter crashed. She was also a 9/11 firefighter, first responder. Denise, also a first responder. Go read about their experiences, man. So yeah, we, not only do I have the No Fallen Heroes Foundation, that's kind of the secular Uncle Sam, no religion. Well, guess what? I can't, I have to wear my secular, I run a nonprofit over here, but man, it was the most spiritual experience, the most religious thing that's ever happened to me. I can't, folks. It's, if you really want to dig into some of the stuff, right here, I just kind of put some of my personal teachings on this page. take it for what it's worth. Um, you know, I just, you know, um, Suzanne. Oh, there's my original medicine crew. Like I said, there's Marcus Luttrell. Robert Gallery, All American at Iowa, Hawkeye, played for the Raiders. Jared Taylor from Black Rifle Coffee. And then JJ, another Navy SEAL. He was a teammate with Marcus. He's a Top Gun Options member too. So you can go check out some of my teachings here. And it's just, I love what I'm doing, man. There's some of my journal entries from the day after sitting with Ibogaine, man. The first word that I wrote down, and that's chicken scratch. I can't even read my own writing. They told us, they're like, just write stuff down. You might not know what you're writing down today, but years later you might. But look at that. Dad and Monica didn't leave. They're still here. See, I look at that stuff, man, and it just isn't that incredible? I can't remember what I ate for lunch yesterday, but when I go back to what I experienced, I'm in it. I'm in it. So didn't think I'd end on this note, but here we are. You bet, Mark. They are good dudes. They are some awesome human beings, and I'm just so proud to be doing this work. So anyway, you show up for a live trade brief, and here we are at the end talking about an entheogenic church based in Florida. But that's the way. Clearly, you can tell I don't. I mean, I had a little bit of a briefing plan, but threw that out the window. But anyway, tactical trade alerts. That's what we were here for. 970 a year, man. Do the 970. Get the options weapon school for free. It's included. Or just do the annual. If you want to kick the tires for a couple more months and shoot us an email. Remember, you can always jump over the fence into our full throttle program. That's where we do the live trading. Okay. If you find you have a little bit more time or you don't mind watching replays if you can't join us. Oh, real quick before you go, here's the member area. I forgot to show you that. You get your own thread over here, tactical trade alerts. You're going to get an app on your phone. All of these, look at these. I just posted these, right? New biotech sector report. It's right there. You click on it. There's your report. So you'll get an alert on your phone, right? You see when I at everyone, everybody gets you get a little alert up here, or you get an alert on your cell phone. There's the AI super cycle report. There it is right there, right? So, and you can ask me questions. Hell, you can even chat with me over here. You can chat. I forgot to show all this. And you also, as a tactical trade alert member, you have access to this, the general intels, board, and our sit rep situation reports, right? I just posted this in here before I jumped on the brief. U.S. forces have quietly opened a protected shipping corridor. So I live in here, folks. All your fellow members are in here as well. And you can, here's Debbie. I just saw your question, Debbie. I'll answer it when we get done. Look at this. All your fellow members post all their stuff as well in here. This is where I post my intel that I'm seeing. And Patrick, nice shot today, man. Patrick made 3,200 bucks today. Ride 'em cowboy. I love that. Very well done, Patrick. See, I love seeing people making money, man. I want you to do better than me. Please do better than me, right? That's the purpose of my job. Remember, it's so funny. I went to the Top Gun adversary program, like I said. People think like you go to Top Gun forever. No, man, you get the flowing robes and the knowledge, and you go back to your fleet squadron. Same thing here at TGO. Once you get trained, there are people here since day one, 16 years later, because they love the intel and the camaraderie and stuff. But what I'm getting at is tactical alerts. You do that for a year. You know how to trade options. You can do this stuff on your own. The best metric of success I can get is an email to support, or email me directly like, Wiz, I'm good, man. Thanks for the membership. I got my wings. I can fly. That makes my heart smile because I know you're going to go out and tell all your buddies. So my apologies. I went 9 minutes too long. I'll give you 50 push-ups. But good stuff, man. Like I said, I'm very passionate about what I do. And if you think you can get along at this squadron, like I said, man, I was up here at 85% return. Now I'm down at 67%, but I'm stroking hard, folks, to hit over 100% return this year. So if you started with me at the beginning of the year and you had 100, now you got 200 grand. And I'm excited. So, all right, folks. I'll get a replay posted on a replay page. Make sure you're on our email list, and so you can get access to the replay. I forget what the hell the replay page is. Okay, hang on. If you need the replay page, hang on 1 second. If you don't, I love you. Thanks for coming. But see, that's why you should have followed your briefing card. Was let me go find the replay page because I need to know it so I can post the replay. Any other questions, concerns, smart remarks? You can keep those to yourself. Just let me know. You can always email me if you have any questions. Wiz, W-H-I-Z, at topgunoptions.com. It's going to be something really, oh my God, what an idiot. Go, you ready? Go.topgunoptions.com / you ready for it? Tactical dash alerts dash replay. So I will get the replay on the replay page. I think I'll remember that replay page for next time. I kind of made these for political science majors like me, and even I forgot. See, I forgot what the replay page URL is, but I can remember what happened on a mattress in Mexico over 5 years ago. Yes, I can, because that's the way God works. All right, guys, thank you for coming. I hope you join our tactical trade alert service. Come check out what we do here at Top Gun Options. If you don't, I still love you. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Fight on. Namaste and good night. God bless. Wiz out. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for coming.